Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the first video cast for the Camo Matrix for 2024. What I wanted to do is, first off, thank you guys. The Camo Matrix YouTube channel has achieved a 5,000 subscriber number now, and it's not a huge following, but I will say that it's organic. And by organic, what happens is a lot of people go in and pay to boost their subscribers. So these are people that are interested in camo and are relatively interested in the ones that are out there, how they might work. So thank you for getting me to that number. I'd like for it to be higher, but 5,000 guys that are interested in camo, possibly some girls out there. But thank you very much. I'd like to say that I hope that your 2023 season was successful. For me, my freezer is full. It was a very good buck from some public land hunting that was 5 years in the making here in North Carolina, and I'll share that story a little bit later. A doe on the last day of doe season, and then right as the season was ticking down was the harvesting of a meat buck. And so my freezer is full, and I hope that you guys had success. What I'd like to say is, what's new in the Camo Matrix for 2024, and we're going to get into that. But what I'd like to do is, if you guys want to support the Camo Matrix, number one, watching the videos, and I'm going to be doing some new stuff here in 2024 that hopefully you guys find interesting. Number two is that, if you want to support the Camo Matrix and you are looking for anything that supports your hunting and you're looking to buy online, then I've got a ton of affiliates of things that I use myself. I don't just go and get a bunch of affiliates that I use or is camo related that you guys can choose from. And you can either do it through what is new for 2024, which is the Hunt Shop on the camomatrix.com website. And I have a giant list of a bunch of people that are a bunch of companies that provide products that I either personally am interested in or I think would help the hunting community. So take a look on the support page for the Camo Matrix and just simply buying something that you want and that you need to make your hunt either more comfortable or improve what you're doing. That simply supports the Camo Matrix through an affiliate program, and you get what you want with no extra cost. So those are something to check out. So it's it seems like it's a win-win for everyone in that particular aspect. So on to what's happening with the channel. So last year I ran a number of single camo videos so that we have almost every single camo that's out there in a single camo video, so you can at least see how it might perform in a number of different environments. And as new ones come up, which there are a couple of new ones, I believe that Approach has a new camo that they've just now are releasing. Fred Bear is going to be produced by another company. I'm going to have those guys out there too, and those are going to be coming up. But what I also want to do for 2024 is about every 2 weeks, I'm going to try to do a bi-weekly video cast where we take a look at one particular camo that you guys choose out of a list that I produce randomly, and I'll let you guys choose. So it'll kind of snowball. So I'll do a video and we'll pick one from a certain group that I let you choose from, and we'll do that through comments. And then in the next video, we'll do a deep dive into that particular camo. And in this particular one, so what I want to do is I've randomly picked three out of a group. So True Timber Strata, Cryptek Altitude, and Numikaza. So in the comments, say which one you want to do a deeper dive on, and then in that video we'll pick another three that I'll generate randomly that we can take a look at. It'll all be based on what those comments are and randomly chosen from the 140 plus camo patterns that we have. That way we're jumping around and we're not doing anything that is one that's in the forefront, or one that maybe is either brand new, or one that's one that everybody's using. So what we'll do is we'll do that. And so, make a comment on those three. So True Timber Strata, Cryptek Altitude, and Numikaza. Make a comment on which one you'd like to do a deep dive on for this next one that we'll have in about 2 weeks. I'm also going to be bringing up some viewer comments, and they're either going to be specific ones that I find helpful or just some critiques that I think is rather funny. So, one that kind of came up on the video, it was Osseo versus Kuiu Valo on 14 backgrounds, and that video is up here for you to take a look at. And there was a certain comment that said, this is kind of funny, it's horrible examples. Get guys in the camo that where they're actually wearing them in the woods, and it's just like, this isn't even close. So, all right, kind of a funny comment. Now, of course, I agree. Putting guys in the camos, in the woods, in all these different environments would be far superior than what I'm doing. The problem is, if I was to buy 140 different camo patterns, and just that alone, 140 camo patterns, and we're looking at a jacket and pants setup on average, we're looking at $200+. So we're $24,000 just in buying those things. And on top of that, the patterns are put in these backgrounds of where I have personally taken the photos all across the country. And so, let's factor in the gas, and the time, easily $200,000 in time, in gas. So the method that I've come up with is the starting point for you to do your own investigation. True light, true shadows, true reflection is going to alter how these camo patterns look in the environment. And what I'm providing for you is the basis of how these patterns are going to look. Beyond that is going to be up to you. And what it really boils down to is that there's more camo patterns than Realtree. There's more camo patterns than Kuiu. And there's so many that are out there, that are so many that are good ones that are for the environment that you're in, or some may be better in multiple environments. That's up to you to make that decision. Use me as the starting point. So, also new for 2024, my last trip out west let me collect a couple more backgrounds out there. I'm going to be including those in new videos. So, look for some of those, and they're going to be ones that I don't necessarily get that easily out here out west, or on the East Coast. But actually, going into 2024 is going to have some new stuff for the Camo Matrix as far as hunting opportunities, video opportunities. So look forward to those. Now, something else that's out there is the Hunt Shop, and the Hunt Shop is purely affiliate based. And what I've tried to do is I've tried to go to a bunch of different camo and hunting product suppliers and bring them into one place for you to see them. So, if you're looking for one particular type of thing like rain gear, then you can simply search for a rain jacket on the Camo Matrix, or you can go into the categories, and I kind of give you an example on the screen right now, and you'll be able to find one that might suit your environment, one that might suit the brand that you're looking for, that may be sold in different places, or one that might suit the price point you're looking for. So check out the Hunt Shop. I'm trying to continue to put products in there from different ones to make it easier, to where it's kind of a location to where you can do your initial shopping and find different ones in different stores that you may not have known that are available. So in preparation for the next video, comment about the patterns that you're wanting to see the first deep dive on. And, we're really going to be evaluating where it may be the best use, and where it may not be the best use, maybe some different options with it. So, let's go ahead and do that. Now, for my hunting, I'm going to sprinkle a couple of products in here that are some of my affiliates. And now these are not paid; these are things that I use or I was interested in and I thought may be helpful. So what I want to go into that public land hunt where I'm going to throw a picture of this buck that we got on this particular hunt. This was 5 years of going to this public land location before we actually were successful. As a matter of fact, this is the first time that we have, while hunting, put eyes on a shootable deer out of 5 years. And so sometimes it takes that long to be able to be successful in locations where it's relatively hard to hunt. And we also go into where we're like, listen, if it's a legal deer, it's down. That's how kind of desperate we were getting with going out there and hunting, to where it was more of a camping trip than it was a hunting trip. But this was the buck that we happened to get lucky enough. And I kind of give you a little bit of a story. It was going to be rainy, and we were going a little bit later in the season than we normally go. And so we got up there, and so now first I'm gonna do a product sprinkle in here. I had been interested in the GoSun water purification and cooking. It was this solar backpack oven, and I'll show. It's right here. And so I reached out to them because I thought that this would be something that that you guys might be interested in. And so it's this solar oven, and to carry around in your backpack and to wait for it to heat up is okay. It's it's not something like you're going to sit there and do quickly. It's going to be something over time. And I've used it. It heats up water. You can cook in it, and it's a pretty cool device. But part of what they sent me was also this backup battery system, this battery that I could take on the hunt with me. And I can charge my phone. I can charge your computer, your cameras, or whatever. And it's got USB ports, and it's got the cigarette lighter port, or whatever it is that you call. And I actually ran while we were on the hunt and setting up our camp. I ran an inverter off of it, and my friends and I watched. We had football on in the background while we were setting up camp. On a TV with the backdrop of the mountains. So that was kind of cool. So these guys, if you're looking for a little portable power when you're going out hunting, GoSun is they're one that I've been using, and it's worked pretty well. So that's something to look at. So we set up camp and we go for a day, and it's we don't really see anything. And the next day it's raining really heavy, and my friend sets off, and he goes, or my friend's name is Patrick. Patrick sets off, and he goes ahead of me, and I'm kind of worried that I'm going to get just soaking wet. And I've got rain gear, but I actually picked up, and this is something that's in the hunt shop. I picked up just a quick FrogTog, the XXL, which is kind of big for me, so it's not something I would recommend for all day hunts. But I thought I was going to be sitting down, for some time. This one is in Realtree Edge, and so I grabbed this, and I was like, I delayed leaving, and I put this on, and I put all my gear back on over the top of it, and set off to go hunt, to go hunting. And while I'm on my way, and so this delay was probably key to me getting lucky. While I'm on my way, I actually see a doe down in a valley while I'm walking. And so I kind of key in on her, and I'm waiting. And as I'm waiting, this buck comes walking in, probably trailing her scent. And so, it was a difficult shot. It's really foggy. And you can kind of see from that photo, how foggy it was. And I was shooting offhand through a bunch of brush. And I kept trying to move to get a good clear shot on him because I didn't want to make an errant shot or an unethical shot. And I shoot, and it's almost like I almost thought that I missed him, and he had gone up and he's turning around. And so I quickly load a second round, and I shoot him again, and he drops. But I did hit him twice, and he was probably, if I'd waited another second, he may have fallen over. But I was just I was afraid that I had missed him the first time because I was shooting offhand through the fog, through the limbs, and but it was actually two shots that got him on both of them. So with that one, we had to drag him out. I was considering on parting him out down there and carrying him out on. Now this is another one of my affiliates. In my hunts I've got an Alps outdoor backpack that has a meat shelf on it. And so when I'm deep in the woods, I don't necessarily want to drag this thing all the way out, but we'll want to part him out and actually carry him out on that meat shelf on that backpack. But it just so happened that Patrick had heard the shot and he came to me, and we dragged him first off up the hill to where we could drag him down the mountain to where camp was. And we did the Gutless Method, which I would like to say, if you guys haven't tried it, I think I'm going to move towards doing that on most of my deer that are not ones that I can get in very easily. Didn't have to deal with the guts. We actually did a mount, or I trimmed him out like I was going to do a mount. So we've got to peel him back, take all the meat off of one side, turn him over, but actually never actually get into guts. And so that's, look into doing that if you haven't done that already. It's a nice method to where you don't even have to worry about anything with the digestive tract, and you can still get the organs that you're interested in. You can still get the tenderloin, and it was actually pretty simple after I've done it the first time. So someone else I want to mention that I used on that hunt was Fox socks, or Fox River socks. I've got a little article in my postings about how I keep my feet warm. So I have feet that perspire a little bit more than I guess they should, and so they actually get cold faster. And so I rotate socks out. So while I'm moving, I use a thinner sock, let's see, the ones that I had sent to me from Fox River was the men's Matterhorn lightweight crew hiking sock. So that was one that I was using while I was moving around. And when I was stopping, my feet were a little damp. I actually pulled my feet out, let them dry a touch, and then I put on this heavyweight sock while I sat there, and it actually helped keep my feet a little bit warmer during that. Some other ones that you guys might want to look at that are affiliates. You guys may have seen me use the Ozonics HR 500 for scent elimination. I've been messing with this while I've been hunting, it's something that people either they believe in or they don't, or they're afraid of ozone. But check out the Ozonics guys if you're interested in scent elimination. Read about some of their products, read about some of the methods that they use. I find it hard when I'm in a tree stand and I get a lot of swirling wind. It's kind of hard to predict where that wind's going to go. And so, I ended up turning it on and I point it in certain directions or move it based on how I feel the wind direction is going. And I use the Ozonics wind indicator, which is not like a puffer, but it actually has fibers in it. And what I like about that one is the fibers, rather than the powder, the fibers, you can watch them as they go and see if the wind is actually swirling the further it goes. And so that's what I like about the Ozonics wind indicator, but they also have the scent elimination devices that they've got. Just quickly, another one, Montana Decoy. They're another one that you guys might be interested in. When I go pronghorn hunting, I take my collapsible pronghorns that I can set out. They have whitetails, they have cows, they have a bunch of stuff. So, check those guys out and see how they do for you. So, to go back, let's remember to comment on the camo patterns. So it's True Timber Strata, Cryptek, Altitude, and New Mikasa. So, take a look at, give me some information on which ones you want to see. Also, I want to, thank David. He sent in these photos of Cryptek Obscura Grom. So this is good for snowy and green areas. So check out David's photos. they are, you know, it kind of shows you how Camo does for, if it's chosen for that environment. It looks like it does very well. So thanks, David. If you guys want to send in your photos, you know, there's the camomatrix.com/sendcamo. There's some information about those. And, you know, remember, the best camo is to remain still and be quiet. But if you're experimenting with new camo and you're confident that it's going to help you in your hunt, then experiment away.